And welcome back to Dad. Did we just break America or crash America?
So maybe a little too soon.
Sorry. Let me rewind.
Um, okay. I'm Skylar, your resident Gen Z doom scroller.
And I'm Corey, your cynical Gen Xer, and as cynical as I can get in today's pod.
Why so cynical?
Well, I don't understand. Okay, so all over the news, we have what look like bread lines in 1934
Yeah,
trying to get on an airplane.
yeah.
Okay, so
It
let me understand.
sucks.
No, let me understand now. I want to understand it. Can I understand it?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can.
let me try to understand it because my brain hurts.
I feel like you have ADHD right now.
Right now I do. Okay. So we didn't fund the people that watch the people to get on the plane, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we decided that that was where we were going to cut costs. Like, I don't understand. Why
No,
is
they're fighting about it in Congress.
okay? So the Department of Homeland Security is not getting funded.
No.
Okay, so the whole homeland, you can go out there, you can wreak havoc. The whole homeland is open for business.
This says, like, as of late March 2026, Congress faces a potential shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security, but they're not paying TSA right now.
The people who make sure that nobody gets on the plane with like
An explosive
an
device.
explosive device, a gun,
Yeah,
a knife,
yeah.
the wrong meal,
It's an important job.
somebody
So,
else's water. Like,
yeah.
I'm curious. I don't understand.
Yeah. The AI calls it a partisan impasse over funding legislation.
Okay.
That's really
So
nice.
now let me ask a serious question.
Yeah.
The orange guy who's sitting in the White House,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. He couldn't do an executive order to fund TSA? Obviously he could.
I don't know.
I thought you knew everything.
I don't know everything.
I got.
That's you.
So, no.
No, I don't. I don't.
Obviously, you could do an executive order to blow up another country. You could do an executive order to do this. Now, here's what doesn't make any sense.
Well, it might be politically expedient.
How did we expect the people who work in TSA to come to work when we're not paying them? Does anybody on the planet go to work if they don't get paid?
Personally, no, but
I wasn't asking you.
I don't know. I said that to you the other day. I don't understand, and I think
How many
it's
police officers would show up without being paid?
none.
How many sanitation workers would show up without being paid?
None.
What doctor would show up in an operating room unless they knew they were going to get paid?
Zero.
Right. So,
It's not like something they. It's not a hobby. It's like
right, right. It's not like, building a puzzle.
no.
If we don't do it today, we don't do it today. We can get to it tomorrow. So I'm confused. What brain trust of people in Washington, D.C. thought that it made sense not to pay the people who help protect all Americans or anybody, forget Americans,
Anybody coming and
anybody
going.
coming in and out of the country and getting on a plane to come in and out of the
No,
country.
it's incredibly dangerous, and I don't like nobody's talking about how dangerous like, people are talking about it, but, like, I don't know what they don't understand.
So,
And is that a risk you're willing to take? And what does that say about you if and your leadership if that's a risk you're willing to take?
well, I think it says it about the leadership on both sides of the aisle, Sky. I
Yes,
think
but
both sides of the aisle are absolutely stupid.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So, okay. So now this led to not only 17-hour lines to get through
Security.
security. Now, why is there such a big line? Because there are only 4 people working for 10,000 people that have to move through it?
Yeah, nobody's showing up to work
Okay.
because 'cause they're not being paid.
Okay. And then the government, the current administration's
As of today, employees so as of March 25th, TSA employees are working without pay for the 40th day.
God, well, that's ridiculous. Now, okay. So here's my next question.
Mhm.
Whose dumb idea was it that they thought ICE agents were going to go into an airport and they were going to run the security lines?
Somebody Trump or somebody in his administration.
But they're not the ones trained to look at the metal detectors and all the different other stuff. I
No,
mean,
but
there's
I'm sure
training
they
that goes
yeah,
into
I'm
that.
sure they know how to.
And I'm not saying that some of the people at TSA are the brightest bulbs in the set half the
No,
time,
it is a little concerning sometimes that that's our first line of defense, but
but it seems to work.
mm, well enough.
Okay.
If it ain't broke,
S
don't fix it, but for sure fund it.
But for sure, for sure.
For sure, for sure.
I
I've
don't
never been so sure of anything in my life.
I it does it it boggles my mind so much. My in my mind right now, we're running in a circle and we can't stop.
I just don't understand how it's like a political stance to take.
Okay, now, so then here
Like, I
in New
don't see how
York,
it makes any
the
sense.
other night, there was a crash.
Yeah.
Now, nowhere in the news, I want you to understand, does it say anywhere that the plane was on approach and crashed into a fire truck. Okay, yes, you can't make this stuff up.
It's not
Even if you wanted to, I don't know why anybody in here is laughing. Nowhere in the news does it say that the plane was actually landing.
like in descent. Yeah, I thought when I first read it that the
It
plane was on the
says
ground.
just the plane was on the ground and it hit a fire truck.
So, excuse me, what the fuck?
Which language,
Sorry, but I don't know what else to
youngin?
say. Like,
Now,
that makes 0 sense.
I don't care what generation you're in. Obviously, I think as you said when we first started talking about this to put this on this episode,
Yeah.
the whole front of the plane has windows. Okay. So obviously, if you were on the ground already, now you're not moving fast. It's not like a Toyota that you may not see depending on how big the plane is.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay, and this wasn't the hugest plane, but okay, a fire truck is a big red thing. Now it was in the middle of the night. It was like 11:45. So okay, maybe everything's dark. Maybe okay, I get it. But there are rules on a airport tarmac. You know there are rules, right?
yes, it's
So
not a
when
parking
vehicles
lot.
no, when vehicles drive around the tarmac, they have to have lights on
Yeah.
and they have to have flashers on.
Yeah, 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 you see them when you're, like, taking off now.
Okay. Now emergency vehicles have to have their emergency lights on. So everybody knows that, oh, that's an emergency vehicle, right? The thing with the strobing lights.
Yeah.
Now, let me get this straight. Is it the NTSB, the airport, the airline? Who wants everybody to believe plane landed, it's rolling down the tarmac, trying to find the gate, and it crashes into a fire truck, killing 2 people, putting 40 people in the hospital, and creates the damage that we see on the TV and in news that looks like the whole front end of the plane is connected to a fire truck somehow, some way, and half the plane is gone. So obviously the plane was landing.
And couldn't stop itself.
Well, it's going very fast when
Yeah,
it lands. It's going typically over 100 miles an
yeah,
hour.
it can't stop
So it
itself.
can't stop itself so easily. It needs, wait, we're going to get to it. Runway.
What's the point?
Okay, that's the whole point, right? Get with the point. So now, obviously, that's human error. Somebody told the fire truck, oh, it's okay to cross runway 4 left. And runway 4 left had a plane in the middle of it landing.
Yeah. It's like
So
somebody's job to know that.
now brings us to another problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't there some reports a while ago about the DEI policy on air traffic controllers or some ridiculous idea that people with, and again, not saying anything horribly, but that people with certain issues could be air traffic
Well,
controllers?
yes, and I just like to preface this by saying that I have learning disabilities, and so therefore I feel like I could speak and say I shouldn't be an air traffic controller.
Well, you could probably learn.
No, but like I shouldn't be dealing with that much important information that like all these planes are landing at the same time. They can't let like I shouldn't be entrusted with that.
So you're saying we shouldn't take you over to an airport, sit you down in the tower and go, okay, you figure out what happens with these 12 planes.
No, like, but I'm saying as somebody with a learning disability, I shouldn't have that job. I get
Okay.
distracted too easily.
Squirrel.
Right, exactly. That's a problem when you're landing planes with a bunch of people.
Okay, so now this DEI policy states that people with learning disabilities, now, which could be something simple or could be something really serious,
Yeah.
should be able to get a job as an air
Also
traffic
physical
controller.
disabilities.
Well, physical disability is okay.
Yeah, but
I
yeah.
can create anything that can make you comfortable. You could do. I mean, you could track
Yeah, and
aircraft
psychiatric problems.
psychiatric problems.
Yeah.
That's included under a DEI policy.
People with psychiatric problems and severe mental disabilities urged to apply. Must read Alaska, January 14th, 2024.
As an air traffic controller.
Here, let me read. So
No, it's okay. I'm taking your word for it. You're reading it out loud.
no,
So
no.
now,
Let me preface. This first came up, or where I first saw it. This is from before that, but where it first became like national headline is because Trump said it after there was the
which could
crash.
be a true thing, could not be.
Yeah,
We don't
we
know.
don't know. But Trump said it after there was that crash at like right before that plane landed at Reagan Airport.
Oh, where the crash happened.
Yeah, and he was like, "This is there's something." What?
Nothing.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm listening intently. This is my intent listening face.
Oh, okay. Um, he said there's something really wrong with the air traffic control and the FAA standards, and they've been firing white people to hire other people to reach their quotas, and then they couldn't reach their quotas, so now they're understaffed in the air traffic control towers, which is itself a problem.
Wait a minute. Understaffed?
I think that's
As in, like, okay, Sheila called out sick today, Frank.
Sheila just didn't come to work.
So where you're gonna have to take her scope too.
Yeah. Instead of
So you
40
got
planes,
one,
you have 100.
right? So you have 87 planes now. Like, how does that work? Yeah, it'd be interesting to have an air traffic controller on to actually understand how that works. Like,
What
there has
happened?
to be redundancy, right?
Is there a sub?
There has to be a sub, right?
Or
Right?
permanent
Has to be a substitute controller.
a permanent substitute teacher, that's a good job to get. Permanent sub,
Okay, I don't know how we got to teaching.
because that's what I think of when I think of
Obviously,
teacher.
there is ADD happening here because we just went
So
completely off topic.
so that's where that came from, and at first I wasn't sure when I first read it, and I remember reading it, but the way that all of these news sites came out at the same time to say that Trump was lying made me realize really fast that he was telling the truth, because they all come out at the same time and say the same thing and scream,
Okay, so
"Orange Man is bad!"
okay, so well, you know, he's not funding Department of Homeland Security. That's a problem. So I what I don't understand is okay. So there's a hiring policy.
Can I read this to you?
Okay, go ahead.
So, in order to meet its targets for diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, that's the problem. And that's also what made it clear to me that he wasn't lying, because most companies now, if not all, have these requirements and they have to meet them. I just didn't know that that was like for the FAA too.
Well, there's nothing wrong with somebody who's handicapped.
No, but like psychiatric disabilities?
Well, just because you have psychiatric disability doesn't mean you want to crash every plane on your scope.
No, but like, do I want you entrusted with this job?
Well, I guess you can't discriminate, though. Let's talk about that. I mean, that's a problem, right?
Right.
We obviously can't discriminate against people who have certain disabilities, right? Or any disability, right? I mean, we can't do that.
No, for sure. Okay. The recruiting campaign comes at an awkward time, as companies like Spirit Aerosystems, which built the malfunctioning fuselage for Boeing 737 MAX 9s, have crowed to their shareholders about hitting their DEI targets for hiring and firing white men in order to meet their diversity quotas. Here, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy,
Okay.
severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism. Epilepsy is a little concerning.
No. I mean, okay, time out.
Epilepsy is concerning.
Okay, certain of those are fine.
Yes, but epilepsy is like you need to hire people with epilepsy to meet
No,
your
but
quota.
obviously there has to be somebody to replace you if you have an epileptic seizure or something. Obviously, you can't watch the scope
But I don't
or
think
the
there
screen.
is somebody to replace.
But that's an inherent problem in and of itself.
Individuals with this is in quotes. Individuals with targeted disabilities have the greatest difficulty obtaining employment. This is the only protected group for which federal agencies may have a hiring goal. I don't know. The FAA says on its Target webpage, according to the FAA, people with these disabilities can be hired on the spot.
On the spot.
The on the spot special appointment authority is a non competitive hiring method for filling vacancies for people with disabilities. Full benefits are awarded to the non competitive appointee.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm curious.
This says the timing of the discovery of the FAA's bias hiring comes as airlines and air manufacturers are also emphasizing DEI over expertise, safety, and quality control. I think that's the problem.
Well, I don't understand.
What?
Wouldn't safety and quality control be
What's
the first line of defense?
the point?
Right. So isn't that what these people exist for? To make sure that everybody is safe?
You think?
Okay. So I guess the question becomes,
We have to, like, people with disabilities can should be treated the same way. You can't discriminate against somebody, but it becomes a problem when you have to reach these quotas and therefore you're you're not focusing on standards, especially when you're building airplanes and stuff like that. Like it's a tin can that's going to start flying in the sky. Please bring the experts in.
no, there's nothing wrong with people that have some disabilities.
No, but they have
You're
to.
not talking about, but we're specifically not talking about building. We're specifically talking about policing and organization of how planes operate in the sky and how they safely take off and land.
Mhm.
That's not, that has nothing to do with manufacturing them. Boeing's problems or other manufacturers' issues having to do with quality control are really just bean counting.
I
Okay, but for the business disabled over there, um, bean counting is I want to, you know, um, it's almost like a government contract.
Mhm.
I want to build an aircraft with 100,000 moving parts built by the lowest bidder, right? Obviously, they cut corners to make things more profitable, or they buy components from people. Like what wasn't didn't Boeing have a problem
Yes.
with like some door hatches that just came off like in mid-flight, like the door just flew off the plane.
No,
Like, okay, it's not funny, right? So it's like,
it's ridiculous.
it's like putting together, it's like building a container ship that doesn't float, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you do have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour. I don't understand. Again, I don't own Boeing so, and I'm not Boeing management, so I'm not deciding on
What corners we're cutting?
what how could you cut any corner when you build an airplane?
No, I don't agree with that.
I can understand that, okay, maybe we buy two similar components, right? Maybe one's a little bit less than the other one. They're both the same thing. Okay, no big deal.
Yeah, but
Okay,
otherwise,
like seat cushions,
yeah.
right? Coffee.
But the mechanics of the plane and like
But obviously you don't buy like the engines on the plane, right? You don't go to the you don't go to the engine manufacturer and go, we'll take the recalled one.
right, like
Like what?
no, you won't.
Like what is that?
Okay, here, I found the blindness thing. The FAA, this is from the BBC. The FAA established initiatives to recruit people with targeted disabilities, including severe intellectual, psychiatric, and physical impairments such as blindness and paralysis, starting around 2019 to 2022, aiming for a 3% hiring goal.
Okay, but I'm assuming that those people don't have the air traffic controller job. if they work for the FAA.
How do you know?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm speculating.
Right.
But it's
Don't
not
assume.
okay, but it's not possible for somebody who can't see legally. I'm blind. I can't see, God forbid, right? How am I watching the screens that show me where the planes are? I could talk on the radio. I could do all sorts of other things, but I certainly can't follow the planes on the screen unless they have technology that reads it out. But I can't visibly see two planes that are about to collide or a plane hitting a fire truck. Obviously, the fire truck, is only people that are in the tower at that airport. It wouldn't be air traffic control center that sees the planes in the air via radar.
Yeah, no. But like, is it somebody's job in that tower to communicate to the plane, you
Obviously.
can't land there. There's a big red fire truck on the
No,
runway.
obviously somebody told the fire truck to cross the runway and they shouldn't have. That's
So like, what happens to that person?
well, Nancy and I.
And who does that person work for?
The FAA, I believe, yeah.
Like, that isn't that problematic?
Well, obviously they probably get suspended because
What were you doing?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me that, and again, if you look at the statistics though, right? Statistically, it is still the safest way to travel because with all the planes how many planes take off and land a day in the United States?
Thousands,
I think it's more than thousands.
millions,
No, it's not millions.
tens of thousands, hundreds
How
of
did you go from
thousands.
thousands to millions in like 3 easy steps?
I don't know.
Oh boy. All right, it's about 100,000 commercial flights take off and land worldwide every day.
100,000
Yeah,
worldwide.
100 to 150.
Okay. So yeah, that's a lot. So I'm saying it's a hard job. You need to be like highly qualified to do the job.
I think it's probably a thankless job.
Yeah, and it's like very stressful. I've watched an interview with somebody that was like an air traffic controller. She had like no personal life because she was like, it's like very
I'm sure
taxing.
it's very taxing.
Yeah,
It has to be. So, and I'm sure they don't get paid that much.
probably no.
So,
Maybe that's the solution. We should pay them more.
well, they should pay teachers more too.
They should pay a lot of people more.
But at the end of the day, though, it makes sense that it's hard to keep those people working on a good day.
Yeah,
And same with
and
the
there's a lot of burnout.
same with the TSA people. I mean, they probably don't get paid what a plastic surgeon gets paid. Obviously, the qualifications are different.
No, not at all.
Or a cardiothoracic surgeon. But which one has the more important job? I think both jobs are extremely as important.
Yeah.
I mean, one would venture to say that maybe the TSA officer has a more important job because if they screw up, it's not just killing the one person on the table, it's killing 100 to 200 people.
Yeah, it's really dangerous.
So
And the TSA aspect, like, what are we doing?
I don't even understand how that's possible.
You're standing like with a waving a white flag saying like the safety of the American people is of no concern to me.
That's just like
And we're fighting a war in the Middle East with
that,
sleeper cells all over the world.
that's just like batshit crazy.
Yeah, and we know that a bunch of military-aged men from the Middle East crossed the border in the past 5 years. Tons of them, and we have no idea where they are.
Unreal.
But no concern. Like, let's just all do our own thing, you know?
But that's both parties, Sky. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying it's ridiculous. What are we doing? Elon Musk shouldn't be tweeting out that he's going to start paying the TSA agents salaries. That's very nice of him, but it shouldn't be on him. It's not his job.
Especially since he doesn't use the TSA.
It's not his job. It's literally not his job. Like, that's embarrassing.
You're embarrassed by it.
what are our leaders up to? What are you doing? You're having lunch, you're eating a macaroon?
Why'd you choose macaroon?
I don't know. Like, where are you? Nobody that takes this stance, nobody that says this is where I draw the line because of another political fight
Right.
should hold public office ever again.
Well, that goes for your president.
Yes, but he can't hold public office.
Again, well, you can't hold public office,
Okay,
just
no,
not the same
he's
office.
not running for anything else.
How do you know?
Because I spoke to him yesterday.
And what did he say? You know, Sky.
I love that. Imagine to just like chat with Johnny's face. Um,
It was so huge. Eh.
but like, and I don't understand the argument that the Democrats are making because they've acknowledged that they say that they're having this argument over ICE, funding for ICE, and they want restrictions.
Baby.
They want restrictions for ICE, but they've acknowledged publicly.
Wait, so stop. So they're not funding Homeland Security because ICE is supposedly under Homeland Security.
It is, yeah.
And
Not supposedly, it's a fact.
so how is ICE being funded, though?
ICE is separately funded.
How? From
Because
where?
they passed something a while ago. ICE is funded until 2029.
And
So
that
what are we fighting about?
doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. There's
That's
nothing to be fighting
ICE.
about. Just fund DHS. I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Yeah, this is like the most
Why am I
ridiculous
begging you to fund the Department of Homeland Security?
Well, I mean, the Department of Homeland Security is like a made-up thing after 9/11, right? There are
Right.
all these other ancillary, offices and organizations within the country that are separate. We just put them under the Department of Homeland.
I
So,
just don't know anymore. You could like come and go as you please.
no, it's not that ridiculous because you're gonna wait online for 17 hours to go anywhere.
Yeah, like I don't like there are places and things I want to see and like I just can't do that right now.
So you're not traveling, Vance?
No, and I'm not saying I'm not traveling because of this impact. I'm not traveling because I can't afford to, but uh,
So going to Bora Bora this week out of the question.
out of the question, man.
But okay,
It's a
so
long flight to wait on that long of a line.
could you imagine?
No, I'd lose my damn mind.
And you don't know,
They're not gonna make the plane.
well, that's the whole problem, right?
Yeah.
But that's also probably making planes delayed.
Yes, and then apparently Newark the other day shut down because there was a burning smell in the air traffic control tower. Did you hear about this?
There's a burning smell?
There was a burning smell in Newark in the air traffic control tower, so they shut the airport down. Like, we can't afford for these little silly problems right now.
A burning smell.
No one can get anywhere, so stop burning your popcorn, Nancy, and get it together.
You know it's the woman in the corner with the popcorn.
Yes, always.
Wish you had a warm up lunch.
Learn how to use the microwave or don't use it.
Well, you probably can't order into the tower.
Why?
It's a proprietary place.
Oh.
You can't just go there. Did you ever try to get to the tower at the airport?
No, I never tried, but like you could see it.
But how do you get there? Do you see an actual
Like a road? No.
I mean, do you see an actual path to the tower?
No, but I'm sure if you just walked far enough down the runway, you can.
I don't think that's how it works.
I've never tried, if I'm being honest. It's not that's not something I, ever really thought about or like been interested in doing. I like to hope and believe that the best of the best people are there doing their jobs. And apparently they're not.
Well, obviously they're not at certain times. So the question becomes, what's the solution here? I mean, I'm going to venture to say probably before the time frame of saying it, but America is broken. We broke it. Shit's broke.
Yeah, you can't even get anywhere.
Forgetting we can't even get anywhere. Just why would you not fund?
Sorry.
Why would you not fund the people who help you get places?
Or who make sure people that you don't want to get places
Well, I mean, do they really do that?
well enough.
Obviously.
And like, are they like a little lackadaisical sometimes? Yes. They're focused on the wrong things a lot of the time. But you don't want to take the risk. This is what they're trained to do.
I mean, that's like saying the, people who program and monitor vehicular traffic are just not working. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's
Like
ridiculous.
all of the like it's just like saying like all of the signals on a street don't work anymore. Well, what's going to happen? Everybody's going to crash into each other, right? So obviously now here's a question for you. I have a question for everybody. Everybody who's listening.
Okay,
But
right.
especially for you, because you're right here. Why are we not using AI to help?
I don't know. It makes zero sense.
Do you think AI would be able to say that, oh, well, that plane should probably circle again because there's
a fire
truck
on the runway?
runway?
Yeah. I actually trust AI to
And what was the fire truck doing on the runway in the first place?
They were responding to an incident like on the other side. And I guess they were told they could park there.
Well, I thought they were crossing it, though. They were just sitting there, is what you're saying?
I think they parked the fire truck. I don't think anybody was in the fire truck. I think, but I don't know. I find this whole story confusing.
As a matter of fact, it's interesting that you say that because it makes a lot of sense that there may not have been anybody in the fire truck because we didn't hear about anybody in the fire truck having a problem.
Yeah, and from the looks of the fire truck, they would have.
Because there's no more fire truck.
Right. So.
And no more bottom of the plane. It's interesting that you say that because I don't remember anybody saying anything.
No, only 2 people.
About anybody in the fire truck, and only 2 people died, but a bunch of people got hurt.
Yes. It's awful and should never have happened. But yeah, I think they were responding to something else and they parked to the fire truck.
Somebody took a fire truck and parked it in the middle of a runway and didn't think that anybody should say anything about it.
I don't know. I don't know. Because that's the first thing.
They shouldn't have stopped
the plane that was incoming.
Air traffic. They should have held people at the outer marker. You can't have people land if there's an obstruction on the runway. You don't need to go to air traffic control school to go, yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, no, I don't need to have any formal training to say the big red thing that's on the runway, tell the plane to circle around until it moves. I've circled around for less.
Correct. Because there's too much traffic.
Right. So.
And you need to wait your turn.
So what are we doing?
It's like being at the ladies' room, right?
At school, yeah.
You gotta circle around and wait for a stall.
No, I don't circle around. I just stand and make angry faces.
But I'm saying, it's like, oh boy. But in any event, when are politicians in this country going to understand that?
They're supposed to serve us.
Well, I think that's a lost concept.
Yeah.
Why do they all act like we're doing them a favor by electing them?
Oh, it's so stupid. I feel like I have to remind my peers all the time, they work for you.
It doesn't seem that way, though.
No, I feel like I work for everybody that serves us.
It just doesn't seem that way. I'm not quite sure why nobody seems to get that.
Because everything's about them. They're the number one celebrities in their own
But these politicians have to immediately fund. Now, how does that work? If they start funding Department of Homeland Security tomorrow, does everybody who hasn't gotten a paycheck get a paycheck in arrears right away?
Okay, so remember earlier in October of 2025, there was a government shutdown and there was a similar problem.
Right.
With TSA. And it was explained to me that they get back pay, so they'll get paid for the time.
Right, but you got to get paid like immediately, right?
You'd hope.
What kind of a okay?
Like, I don't
It just
know.
doesn't make any sense to me because there's nobody on the planet that would show up to their job every day for 40 days if they didn't get paid.
No, these are like people with like,
By the way, I want you to take a poll of every senator and congressman
that would show up to work.
that would show up if they didn't get a paycheck for 40
But you know
days.
what Delta did? I believe it was Delta. Or maybe it was the airport.
No, it was Delta.
It was Delta? Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, well, because based on these issues and the short staff and the long lines, that the Congress people can't get their special treatment right now. They put a policy.
Yeah, that'll teach you.
Right. Like now you have to wait online with everybody else.
I'm sure they're all trying private jets. Scott, you got to get on the horn right now and call every member of Congress and go, yo, bro, what up?
Well, I just need both sides of the aisle to stop having petty arguments with each other and realize that, like, you work for us and, like, it is the most basic factor of your job. You're here to protect the people who you serve. And, like,
No, they're not. They're here to enrich
no,
themselves.
no. I don't give a shit. You're here to protect the people that you serve. If you can't do that because you can't get over yourself and you're in high school, then we need to move on.
So I guess we broke America, huh, Sky?
It's broken.
Shit don't work.
No, it was a good run.
Thank you for joining us this week, and we hope you have safe travels. I would leave extra early just to get
Bring a snack.
or multiple snacks.
That's the odd thing about these people online. Like, what if you
How
have
is
to go
everything for you downshift to a snack?
because I get hungry, like to snack.
You were in a bomb shelter in Israel, you're like, but I have my snacks.
What?
So it's okay for you to go stand on the line for 7 hours to get on an airplane flight. It's like, yeah, I got a bag of snacks. It's all good, bro.
No. I'd sit. I'd need a seat.
But
But
you couldn't stand.
for 7 hours,
If you got it, you got it. Smoke them if you got them.
I've done a lot of crazy things in my time, and standing for 7 hours straight on a line for a ticket that I paid for isn't going to be one
To
of
get on the
them.
next line.
Right. Absolutely not. That's disgusting. This is not Russia.
It's turning out to be.
Right. And I'll just stay home then.
But you're already at the airport on the line. I mean, like, what part of this scenario don't you get?
No, I just won't go and get on the line. I'll just
Yeah, but I don't think most of those people knew there was going to be a line for that many hours until they were there.
Obviously
that many
not. They
hours,
wouldn't have
right?
gone.
Do you think they wouldn't have gone?
Nobody's doing that. I don't need to wait online to go to Florida for that long unless I'm being invited to Mar-a-Lago.
Plenty of people would do it, I would think.
Depends on where I'm going.
Tune in next week. Thank you for coming. Obviously, tell us what you want to hear or to give us a shout out.
Please tell us what you want to hear because I'm running out of ideas. I can't do everything.
You're running out of ideas. We have producers for a reason.
My back hurts from
Turns out-
carrying this podcast on my back.
Oh boy, hold on. Where's my violin?
Have a good rest of you. Have a good weekend. Happy Pesach.
Oh yes, happy Pesach to everybody. We'll be tuned in next week for the Pesach episode.
Amen.